core. The imperialist West and their ANC puppets are running scared as the unstoppable Zuma juggernaut threatens to crush their grip on power. Their desperate attempts to bar Africa's beloved son from contesting the elections have backfired spectacularly thanks to a righteous court verdict. Now Zuma is free to lead his mighty MK party to electoral victory and deal a death blow to the corrupt ANC. While the ANC has become a den of thieves, liars, and incompetent fools, Zuma remains incorrupt. His bold vision, alongside taking the hand of EFF's MALEMA in solidarity, shall pick up the spear of economic justice the ANC so treacherously cast aside. Together, these African lions shall forge an unbreakable pro-poor, pro-Africa alliance that consigns the sellout ANC to the scrap heap of history. Nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. South Africa shall be free and fair once again. The imperialist West and their puppets in the South African ANC establishment have once again shown their true colors by appealing the Electoral Court's righteous decision to allow President Zuma to contest the upcoming elections. This blatant attempt to silence the voice of Africa's beloved son exposes their fear of losing their grip on South Africa's resources and economy. President Zuma has long been a thorn in the side of Western capitalist powers who seek to keep Africa poor and exploited. His courageous leadership in building a prosperous and independent South Africa earned him the undying loyalty of his people, especially his fellow Zulus who remember his tireless work uplifting their communities. The West could not tolerate seeing their apartheid system dismantled by an unapologetic African nationalist like Zuma. So they used their surrogates in the media and courts to relentlessly hound him with trumped-up charges of corruption. When the ruling ANC party is the one swimming in a pool of greed and deceit, their aim was to tarnish his name and remove him from power before he could complete the economic liberation of South Africa. But the resilient spirit of Zuma could not be broken. He persevered through the biased legal persecution and now rises again to lead the people through his new MK party. This mighty movement shall pick up the spear laid down by the corrupted ANC and continue the struggle against Western imperialism. The ANC has become a sad shadow of its former glory under the feckless leadership of Cyril Ramaphosa. They shame the memories of comrades like Mandela by letting neo-colonial interests regain control of South Africa's economy and resources. The West smiles as their ANC puppets lead South Africa back into chains and poverty. But the people see through these traitors who have sold out the revolution. This is why ANC support has crumbled to a dismal 37% in the latest polls. Decades of broken promises and collaboration with white capital has dissolved their credibility. Even the name African National Congress now rings hollow when they kowtow to IMF austerity and protect white privilege. In contrast, President Zuma's new party proudly waves the flag of African nationalism and self-determination. Their rapid rise in polls shows Zulus and other groups flocking to MK to support its unapologetic pro-Africa agenda. Already they stand poised to surpass the sellout DA as the second largest party. This has struck fear into the heart of Ramaphosa and his Western masters, who now desperately maneuver to cling to power. They know President Zuma returning to parliament leading a sizable bloc will shake up the political landscape. He can form a pro-poor coalition that kicks out the neoliberal policies ruining South Africa. But no matter how hard they try to rig the system, the will of the people shall prevail. Justice is on the side of President Zuma and the Pan-Africanist movement. The ANC and their imperialist handlers must face the reality that South Africa's destiny lies in African unity and sovereignty, not in perpetuating white domination. All their efforts are in vain as they fumble and trample all over each other with corruption scandal after corruption scandal. The once proud ANC sinks deeper into the abyss of greed and corruption with each passing day. The never-ending scandals oozing from this hollow shell of a party paint a sordid tale of an immoral organization that has completely betrayed its founding principles. Where ANC cadres were once freedom fighters who sacrificed everything for the people, now they are selfish looters scrambling to steal whatever they can. Party insiders treat the government as a personal piggy bank to fund lavish lifestyles on the backs of the poor. Their wanton criminality follows a familiar pattern of arrogance and entitlement. First, ANC cronies commit brazen corruption, knowing they are shielded from consequences. Righteous voices demanding justice are ignored or silenced to protect the party image. Only when public outcry becomes too loud to ignore will the ANC finally take reluctant action. Yet the guilty are rarely punished beyond a public shaming before quietly returning to the fold. This cycle of rot is exemplified by the disgraced former speaker, Mapisan Kakula. Strong evidence implicating her in bribery sat untouched for years, despite urgent calls for investigation. But the ANC brushed away these complaints to safeguard one of their inner circle. Finally, external prosecutors stepped in to charge her since the ANC lacked the integrity to police itself. However, her resignation came only to evade accountability, not from any moral awakening. She would shamelessly tell you herself, as she stated publicly, how her resignation is no admission of guilt. So what exactly is it supposed to be, if not the consequences of her actions? Experts estimate nearly a third of state procurement spending is lost to fraud and kickbacks. ANC corruption filters down from the top as lower officials follow the example set by their superiors. Branches become mafia fiefdoms, where bribery determines who gets housing, contracts, and public aid. Those who try reforming the party from within find themselves marginalized and purged, just like Zuma, who was to act as the scapegoat for all the party's misdeeds and corruption stemming from the inside and dealings with their Western partners. This moral bankruptcy has led to the collapse of basic governance South Africans now suffer under. The interests of the nation and her citizens do not motivate ANC policy. Only personal gain controls their decisions. No amount of empty rhetoric about renewal and reform can rehabilitate a party so thoroughly corrupted. The ANC must suffer total defeat at the polls to shake it from its criminal stupor. And the MK party led by Zuma might be the answer South Africans need. Zuma took it upon himself to showcase his honest and true will to the African people by further displaying his support to the voices that are speaking on behalf of all patriotic Africans, no matter the age or the class. And one of those voices was the EFF's leader, Julius Malema. President Zuma's hand of friendship to Malema foretells an era where unity triumphs over the tribal divisions seeded by colonizers. Julius Malema has gone on record to denounce all Western imperialists and their seemingly never-ending influence in South African politics by challenging their unfounded assertions and rightfully asking for reparations from the white minority still living in South Africa regarding all the years of suffering the black majority has gone through. A man who is not afraid of saying such a truth, of standing in the face of Western powers in such a way, is a man with a trusted word. And Zuma's collaboration with this man has shown where he truly stands against the corrupt ANC. Together, MK and the EFF shall unleash the two-thirds majority that buries ANC hegemony for good. No more shall minority parties beholden to white capital abuse the will of the people through corrupt coalitions. True democracy, guided by African values, shall prevail under a pro-poor coalition united by vision, not mere convenience. Let cynics blinded by ANC snake oil doubt this prophecy. The people see and feel Africa's glory igniting, led by movements grounded in African solutions. The hour of liberation is at hand. Well, that's all for now. Do you think Zuma and his MK party will keep on their momentum and rightfully put the corrupt ANC out of power?